We got out of it what we wanted to get out of it. I'm very appreciative of Northern for coming over and playing this game. It's we owe them something down the road, and I think we've worked very well together. So we needed it. It's obvious they needed it. So, and it'll give us a good look to really. The whole thing was to give some guys a lot of minutes to evaluate where they're at and how they perform. And I didn't think we were ready to start the game. That I don't know what reason that is for. Maybe we just maybe nerves or maybe whatever. But I thought that the last half of the game we had more structure to it and saw a little bit more of what we're looking for, and that's really probably what I'll watch and adjust off of that. I think the first 30 minutes or so, I'll pick a point probably where I say, okay, we were settled in, and we'll try to improve on from that point on.
That first period, there were a lot of 4-on-4 situations. It's kind of hard, especially when you're trying to work with such a large roster in a game like this, to get everybody in and get them ice time and get their feet really wet at that point, right?
Yeah, but on the other side of it is, in those situations, that becomes more of a man-for-man structure. And, we're really looking for the compete level of some individuals. So that in a man-for-man structure, it gives you that opportunity. So that wasn't all bad in itself. It might have, maybe took away from a little bit from the game. I don't know, but people upstairs seem to really enjoy the game. I think they've been a long time without hockey, and I certainly appreciate the enthusiasm that was in the rink. It was outstanding. The band, the Misfits, the locals, everything was great. And the band. You think about the band. They did football today, they did volleyball today, and then they came and did us. And I went up there and. Selfish me, I should have had pizza and stuff sent up there at the very least for them. But it was festive. I thought it was festive and gave our guys a little bit of feeling for how great this place can be.
Was there any excitement this week about the players being able to play in front of fans for the first time in so long?
I didn't sense it. I didn't really sense a tremendous amount of change from the other weeks, which you would have expected. But I think that they. Part of it was maybe on my part that I let them know that I was going to coach the game as an evaluation game, as an exhibition game, and maybe they brought out that type of thing that doesn't matter. And then at some point when we went down 2-0, we took that couple punches to the jaw. We figured out, we'd like to at least play. So part of it, probably is on me.
How exciting was it to see Bronte step up and contribute right away for you there with a goal and an assist, and including the goal to get you going there? Yeah,
we'll look at video, but we got out of them what we were hoping to get out of them right on through. I do think that Tristan, has got to get some, he's been out, he just got back for a couple days and played, and you look at him last year, he didn't play the whole first half, he came in right away and played. So we've seen him really be an athlete that's battling conditioning, and he needs to be conditioned. So it was really nice having Nardella and Richards in the lineup, those extra players tonight, because we used them, and I was able to spell some guys, and they got a lot of minutes. They may be up in our top in minutes, I don't know, but it kept other guys fresh to some degree, and I really feel good. Not seeing the video on what we got out of that Bronte line right on through from, I thought Parker did a great job at center. So there's a lot of positives in the game, and there's other things that I got to look and, okay, was that performance the way that it looked to me from the bench? And, we have to make some decisions and corrections in some other areas. So
it feels like the big theme this season is getting into the dirty areas, grinding, and getting dirty goals. I know you've mentioned that before on your radio show and everything, and it seems to have translated tonight so far, with the first 2 goals being pretty get in the face.
That's always been my goal. Maybe the way I was raising things, I don't do well with, excuses is the wrong word, but lack of accountability, and more than that, not being able to hold guys accountable. For the lack of offending them, and that's a hard way to attack sports. You know what I mean? We have to be able to talk to guys without them, getting really thin skin and do that. So I decided to do that with numbers so that we could just do it with ice time. and at some point you just gotta say, we it's not that we'd rather lose than perform, but in some ways you'd rather lose and force yourself to make decisions, hard decisions, than continue to hope guys will show up, every night and every day with the passion and the enthusiasm that you have to have in Division I sports, and so yeah, that's always been the theme. It's been extremely difficult at times driving that point home, and actions speak louder than words, and all we can do is say that that's the point of emphasis. That's more important to me than anything else, because once we get that and get hard skill, because we've had some hard players that struggled in the skill department, and then you get that dichotomy of well, I work harder than him, I compete harder than him, I do this harder than him. Yeah, but you don't make plays. You know what I mean? And then the other side of it, you got guys that can make plays, but they don't make enough of them, so you're counting on them, you need them at the big times against the good teams, but they're not hard enough. We get out-competed. So it's the hard skill, it's the package that you have to have, and that's what players have to work for. And you know what? A guy that stood out to me tonight, big time, and if you could get that type of growth, and we've been seeing it right on through, was Rylan Mosley. He was, his motor and his compete level, is, if we can get that throughout the board, and his attention to detail was outstanding. So that's our objective, to get more of that.
How did you feel about Blake's effort in net? I know he struggled a little bit early there, and then gave up the one that he couldn't really see in the second period. But what did you think of his game?
He's in the net. He's getting his feet wet. I guess we'll look at it like he's earned. He's done a great job for us. Aaron Rodgers didn't look so good that first game after not having a training camp and things like that, and looked pretty good the second game. So we'll look and we'll be looking for him to bounce back, and he just can't beat himself up. He has to believe in himself and just continue to perform. I thought Bailey got in there and did a pretty good job. I think he over pursued. He was playing the body on the power play goal instead of playing the stick where the puck was, and it was a quick release right up under the bar and right at the tee there in the net, or the angle in the net, and surprised him. But made some big saves. As soon as he got in the game, he had a quick 2-on-0, and we watched that between the period, and I was like, whoa, you didn't really see that in the game live. It happened so quick, and they were looking through so much fog, but boy, it happened quick. He made a big save for us, or we'd have been down by 2 again.
Can you talk about the fog? How did that affect the play?
Well, the guys wanted to play. Like at the end of the second period, the guys wanted to play. Like, what they think it's going to, like, the comment on the bench was, what, they think it's going to go away in the third period? Like, what, they think it's all of a sudden going to, like, it's not going to be bad at the end of the third period? But, hockey's hockey. I think it was hard. It was harder at a distance. I'm not sure how bad it was, like, in a zone, excuse me, for the players in the zone. And when we looked at stuff, between periods, you couldn't even tell there was fog in the rink from the overhead. I don't know what the fans in the rink were saying, or if somehow the camera took that away, but you couldn't even see fog in the rink in between, in between periods from the overhead. How was it up top? Could you see a lot of fog?
First period was worse than the second, in your opinion.
Now, down from where we were, it was at times like coming across, this morning coming across the bridge. You know what I mean? Where up at my house it was sunny and beautiful, and then you could just see, and then you get down to the bridge and it's like, ooh, whoa, so. But it was, all those things are both teams, right? Ice, fog, whatever, it's all both teams.
Soft ice, though, right? Was it hard to manage that for the players?
No, it's been soft every day. Every day, every practice that all the time they've been on the ice, it's been like that. So, we'll certainly have our, there'll come a time when that ice is hard and firm, and when things cool off a little bit. So right now I'm fine with a little bit of, we can still get out in the boat and catch a few walleye, and I'm fine with the ice the way it is.